right, so today I'm going to take you on a journey around the craziness that is my office. I have all sorts of different kinds of tools that I use, and so I just want to set a baseline for the reason why I have the different tools that I have. So we exist on a continuum from an energetic perspective where there's no physical substance, all the way over to, like, you go over and knock on a hard wall. That's going to be kind of the general continuum. And so all the different tools that I use kind of go from one end of that spectrum to the other. So for example, right here you can see I have an adjustment tool that works on the physical body. Okay, I have some more additional adjustment tools, whether it be a little adjustment tool here. I have a massager and some other tools that I use for physical work. That's going to be some of the area way over here. Now, a lot of times I'll refer out to chiropractic, acupuncture, massage, physical therapy to do a lot more of the physical work. As a naturopath, I have a tendency to do a little bit more of the biochemical stuff, so nutrition, diet, lifestyle, and the mental emotional piece is really where my passion is, and that's where a lot of the energy stuff that I do comes from. So for example, let's just start with these little guys right here. I have a variety of different tones that actually affect the different energy centers of the body. So chakras, there are 7 different layers of energy that usually correspond with nerves in the body. And so, generally speaking, when we use a tool, it's going to be something that has a physical influence from an energetic perspective, or an energetic perspective, or an energetic change from a physical perspective. They all work together. So we have some sounds here where we can stabilize a person top to bottom. There's also some of my favorites here. I have some sound bowls. A lot of times the kids like to play with these. The idea behind the sound bowls is that they change things. They provide energy, very specific energy to get things moving. So most of the time when I'm in a clinical setting, I'll usually just kind of check and see which bowl or which sound frequency that the body really is interested in. Now you can also see up here that we also have some physical stuff. So for example, I have my joints that oftentimes I will use as representation of talking about different things, whether it be the injection therapy that I might offer, or maybe a little adjustment. This is a hip. Okay, so what else do we have up here? We have some really cool stuff up here, including some other sprays. Now these sprays contain a combination of things. These little guys have flower remedies in them, and the flower remedies are very powerful and help move both an energetic and or a mental emotional piece. So there are a variety of different sprays for all kinds of different scenarios. Helping a person move forward in their health journey, remove blocks. Okay, so then the next thing we have here, for example, is another physical item. So for example, a lot of times I do a lot of digestive stuff. The immune system is 80% here. If you got a focus issue, a brain issue, depression, whatever, we start here. We start in the digestive piece. And so this little egg, for example, helps work on the digestive piece. We do a lot of work with the digestive piece. Then I have some other fun things here. So I have some acupuncture seeds. So we use a lot of acupuncture theory, for example, to check and see where there might be blocks in, whether it be organ systems or other energy systems flowing through the body. Okay, and then we have a variety of books. I have all kinds of different books that I reference things from. And then we have, let's see here, let's come on over here. So a lot of books that I refer to people, including things like this one. This is one of my favorites recently, The Shame-Informed Therapy, or Hold Me Tight, because as I work with the mental emotional piece, a lot of times relationships are involved. Training as a kid, the emotional piece that puts you into a stress response. So that's another big one that I use here. This one right here is going to be specifically related to emotions and organs associated with that. So this one comes from a system called neuro-emotional technique. So over here, for example, you have organ systems. Like the stuff in the yellow here is stomach, spleen, pancreas. The emotion associated with those particular organs are things like overly sympathetic, low self-esteem, worried and distrustful. Okay? So those are different entry points that we work in connection with the body and the mind. Then we have different remedies that we use. These are going to be homeopathic remedies. These remedies are going to be energetic remedies. They're not physical substances. I have a lot of substances, nutritional substances, or herbs that specifically work on the body. So for example, these are all the different herbs that we have in the office, right? So we have a variety of them so we can kind of know what we have. We make custom tinctures in the office to make sure we have a state change continuously that go with the person in their home on a daily basis to help change the state, to help move back into and turn systems on and help the person heal. Now, when we get into the really wacky, crazy stuff, we have some of these things, which are going to be the crazy stuff. This is going to be the crystals. Now, this is something I've delved into, and if it's not something that you're into, it's not something we have to use. But the beauty, for example, of some of these particular structures is these particular structures allow a resonance of a type to be able to help move things again through the body. Because generally speaking, for example, in Chinese medicine, the reason why we are sick is because we have a blockage somewhere, whether it be mental, emotional, biochemical, or structural, right? Those are going to be things that stop us from moving. Now, one of my favorite things, and many of you have seen me check in with these, and I have a variety of them, hundreds if not thousands of them, are going to be vials. These are the craziest of the crazy stuff because these actually contain information. Sometimes, for example, I'll do allergy treatments, allergy elimination treatments for people with certain allergies. We can go through and harmonize a person and clear that out. Most of the time, it does the trick. The person's allergies go away. I usually work a lot with anxiety, depression, PTSD sort of scenarios to help a person, usually in conjunction with a therapist and even medication. And we go through and reset the nervous system, help the body heal and repair, increase the amount of energy and resources that the person needs in order to be able to get well and stay well. Those are all the fun, different tools that I use here in the office. So I hope this was a fun little ride for you today, just to kind of see and experience and talk about some of the different things in my office. Comment down below what was the most intriguing and or the weirdest thing that I have in the office, and let me know if there's anything you want me to do any additional videos on. All right, like and subscribe if you like these videos. This is Dr. Fisher signing out.